in our META region was 54%, and then 15% not actually engaged but planning DX efforts, 2-year time frame. Then 4% not currently engaged, no plans for DX in the next for future. Then there was another 27% said about to start digital.
Welcome to the OTech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on your time zone. Thank you so much for joining OTechTalks.tv, session number 57. We had a session number 56 on the digital transformation framework. How are different frameworks available in different organizations and how they're following up for digital transformation. Today in our same topic on the digital transformation, we're gonna discuss the latest trends, or we can say the new topic, which is new operating model for the digital transformation and how to architect an operating model for digital transformation. Now, before we will go to our topic, and last week we didn't had a podcast or session due to there were a number of events were going on in the region in Dubai. Primarily, there were two big shows. I just want to share some of the highlights from those shows. And those events were one, Oracle had their Oracle Open World Middle East, which was the largest gathering from Oracle point of view, because Oracle after San Francisco, this was the in 2020 first Open World, with a 2-day event, and the published information on the media is the plus 6,000 Oracle customers, partners from the Middle East and India to discuss the latest developments in Oracle technology. They came over together. And Oracle VPs, SVPs, product development, everyone was here. And we had a very great show with so many customers, partners presenting new ideas and new innovations. And as my professional life, I was also part of playing my very active role doing the innovative demos on the ground. We met so many customers, CIOs, regionals, and we got so many latest trends, information, and what's happening in our information technology and within the application landscape. That was, and I will put it in the show notes if you want to have the videos on demand, or if you want to see or download the presentations, you can go ahead and download it. Then another, by the way, this Oracle Open World Middle East happened on 14 and 15 January 2020 in Dubai World Trade Center. Then on next event, which was from IDC, that was on the future directions, which the IDC called as Directions 2020. So where IDC presented on 23rd of the January, that's last Thursday, for the region Middle East, Turkey and Africa. And what they said is investments in digital transformation and innovation will account for 30% of all IT spending in Middle East, Turkey and Africa by 2024, up from 18% in 2018. And that was in another number of the what we call say as directions they've put forward For example, some of the other directions that government enterprise IT spending is increasing at CAGR of 5.7% and will top 8 billion in 2021. At over 6 billion, manufacturing will account for 23% of all digital transformation spending in 2020. And these numbers are in dollars. Annual security spending will top $3.6 billion by 2023 as digital trust becomes a priority. Spending on artificial intelligence will top 600 million in 2023, doubling from 2018 levels. IT spending will reach 17 billion in 2023, 6 times value seen in 2023. Now, there are other statistics from a digital from a point of view. The digital transformation efforts mature in Meta. And with that, what they presented, the IT's VP, Jyoti Lalchandan, what he has presented, he was a director, managing director, regional vice president, and regional managing director, that digital transformation, currently engaged in digital transformation in our Meta region was 54%. And then 15% not actually engaged but planning DX efforts, 2-year time frame. Then 4% not currently engaged, no plans for DX in the next for future. Then there was another 27% said about to start digital transformation in 2020. So the stats of 54% organizations in Meta currently engaged in digital transformation and 50% still almost are left. And then the top challenging being addressed in 2020 from the digital transformation were 32% audited KPIs, 34% organizational silos, 40% tactical roadmaps, and 47% islands on the innovation. So these were some of the top islands of top challenges which are addressed through the digital transformation. And now if we will continue, what are the funding from where the funding is coming, or how they were funding the digital transformation projects. 53% OPEX rationalization, CAPEX to OPEX rationalization, leveraging savings to fund DX, the digital transformation projects. 34% incremental DX funding DX over and above standard IT budgets. And 27% internal IT rationalization, staff rationalization or automation. So that's how the funding on digital transformations are being done in different organizations. And what they concluded is by 2024, over 30% of all Meta IT spending will be directly for digital transformation and innovation, up from 18% in 2018, growing at CAGR of 18% versus 1.5% for the rest of IT. So it means the spending on digital transformation is high compared to any other way of doing it. And definitely millennials are driving the digital transformation projects if from innovation point of view. And these were some of the trends which were discussed in IDC Future Guidelines for 2020. And now we will go back to our topic of the day, which was architecting the digital operating model for digital transformation. And what we have found from organizations' point of view, if they want to build value and provide compelling customer experiences at a lower cost, they need to commit to next generation operating model You name it next generation, or you name it new operating model. This operating model is a new way of running the organization that combines digital technologies and operations capabilities in an integrated, well sequenced way to achieve step change improvements in revenue, customer experience, and cost. Now, today I thought to change some of the format on our podcast, and we said let's define some of the basis of the topic. That's why what we are going to do is we are going to discuss some of the key questions on that. What is digital operating model? And then what's the purpose of an operating model? What is operating model transformation? So all these questions. Let's go one by one. What is a digital operating model? The digital operating model is one of enablers designed to help organizations to renew the customer experience in the digital era. Adopting a digital first mindset, putting digital at the heart of the business, enables to define their relationship with their customers. An operating model describes how people, process, and technology are organized to achieve strategic objectives. A digital operating model does so, and it represents to the place that where customer are the core of the entire process, and then how organization need to fix it. And definitely digital operating model is much the or bridge the gaps between what is need and what is expectation of today's customers. And if I will name it to how Deloitte Insights defined an operating model in simple but comprehensive way, an operating model represents how value is created by an organization and by whom within the organization. Very simple. How you're going to create a value for an organization and by whom within the organization. Now, what is the purpose of an operating model? The primary purpose of operating model is to enable the application of corporate strategy or vision to business or operation. It is a high-level representation of how company can be best organized to more efficiently and effectively deliver and execute on the organization's strategy. What is operating model transformation? When we say as a part of digital transformation that you need to transform your operating model, you need to architect a new future operating model. Operating model transformation helps maximize efficiency. So this helps grow revenue. As you gain more customers, a lean and responsive operating model means that you can service your customers better. Digital or not, executives must take decisions about changes to their business in four key categories like value proposition, customer capabilities, and finance to transform digital operating model. What does a target operating model includes? The target operating model is a blueprint of an organization's business vision that aligns operating capacities and strategic objectives and provides an overview of the core business capabilities, internal factors, external drivers, strategic and operational operational layers, organizational functional structures, technologies. All these comes together to provide a one blueprint for an organization. What is the difference between business model and operating model? An operating model is like the blueprint for building. An operating model describes how an organization delivers value. As such, it is subject of the larger concept business model. A business model describes how an organization creates, delivers, and captures values and sustains itself in the process. That's the definition I took it from Wikipedia under the operating model. Now, there are 5 approaches and capabilities which organizations are following to drive the next generation operating model. These capabilities are streamlining processes and minimize waste, which is called lean process design. Then it's called business process outsourcing, drive the next wave of processes, outsourcing and offshoring. advanced analytics, provide intelligence to facilitate decisions, intelligent process automation, introduce intelligent automation to place human tasks, then digitization, digitize customer experience and day-to-day operations. So all these are the capabilities, or you can say operating model which should have. And what are the common, what we call as a digital operating model practices which are being followed, which we see is redefine what digital means to the enterprise, then appointing a digital chief digital officer or equivalent, focus on platform capabilities, invest in digital hubs, build and optimize agile delivery pods, prioritize talent procurement, recruitment and retention. So all these are also part of the digital operating models design. Now, coming back to an architecting on digital operating model, target operating model should have CX office where the strategy, corporate development, and digital strategy is being placed. Then sales and strategy and marketing where you're focusing on customer sales, enterprise sales. Then from a consumer point of view, product sales, SMB product services, enterprise product and services, new product incubators, transformation office, activated as needed. Even you need to have a managed services or digital enablement center of excellence, business operations, CPQ, billing, customer service, robotics, AI excellence. So all these are part of the operating model. Examples of operating model: shared services where is the IT, real estate, HR, knowledge management, corporate finance, and accounting are comprising of different departments. This example is where centralized strategic planning functions to set unified directions for the enterprise. We look into digital transformation frameworks, and you can refer otechtalks.tv session number 56, where we spoke on the different frameworks which are being used and followed by organizations. And if you refer to them, operating model is part of the digital transformation framework. Which starts from strategy, what are we winning our aspirations, or what do we do, or what we want our company to be. That leads to a business model, which is where will we choose to play and how will we win in these markets, which customers, pricing, products, and all that. And then capabilities, what capabilities are needed, which capabilities must be built, refined, or bought, or even get expertise on that one. And then the fourth was on operating model, where how should capabilities be configured, be managed, how should they be executed, who rights, how the overall organizations are going to operate. And then the last was customer success, where people, process, and technology comes into play. What business processes, technology, and management systems are required. Now, if you see from a Deloitte point of view, the operating model is on the fourth point, operating model design. And to design an operating model, we need to have certain questions in our mind that will address our key requirements. Those are what work needs to be done, where does the work get done, who does the work, how do we drive better outcomes. That corresponds to the operating model. Now, what work needs to be done? Definitely, this is the first step to identify the holistic set of capabilities required to meet the enterprise strategic ambitions. These capability set may include both existing capabilities and new ones. For example, maybe we need to fix back office functions, all of product lines. So in other words, a capability represents a discrete set of objectives, processes, technologies, and talent that collectively generate value for an organization. Now, this capability map, we need to build a capability map. So this capability map represents where organizations generate values. that can be starting from processes or insights or mission, governance, talent, technology. So all this corresponds to the area capability map. So once we have capability map in place, then where does the work get done? Which is where we need to, maybe capabilities, we have some capabilities, but some of the capabilities we need to get mature or maybe fit for purpose, or maybe other we need to bring in or we need to acquire it. So in this case, typically what happens, there are four sources of capabilities. They can be developed, transform, or mature them internally, or use as it is, and then they can acquire them capabilities. Maybe through hires, or maybe partner to access them, or maybe we can outsource them. Develop, acquire, partner, outsource. So these are the four capabilities we can find out that how we want to do it. Now choice, again, it's depend on every organization that how they want to do it. This is a tougher decision that we as an organization you need to make, that okay, you want to decommission capability and opt to partner, outsource it, but we have to identify and reach a conclusion as an organization. Now, who does the work? That's the step involves in each part of an organization. Okay, we got the capabilities, maybe we provided two types of values, demand side or supply side. What are the driving factors? What is our company's is pricing, margins, revenues, sales, product engineering, recruiting? Who will be doing that actually? Do we need to acquire a new product, or do we need to change the product, or do we need to improve the supply chain? So all these based on value generated and the relationship to the business capabilities, it can again categorize into four ways: shared capabilities, or supporting capabilities, steering capabilities, and specialist capabilities. And that's how it put on the chart is supply side, volume, standards, data, demand side, which is brand, pricing, sales, margin. Is it limited or significant? To what extent can the capabilities scale across product, geographies, and customer segments? So all this, as an organization leaders, you need to take a decision on that one. How are you going to do it? How does that work? Who does the work? And then the fourth question is on how and can organization drive better outcomes? Now, definitely operating models will keep changing based on the feedback from the employees, customers, and even effectiveness of the process. Either we are leading the competition, definitely based on that feedback, we need to have a process in place so that we will take the feedback, use it, and then refine our operating model. Now, based on these, we call as either we need to, from an assets point of view or a people, process, technology point of view, you need to decide that do we need to upgrade, replace them, do we need to train them. In that case, three principles are available to strengthen our operating model, which are democratize information across the organization, and ways to execute is leverage technology design to drive community and support communications, collect, index, and host information on a user-friendly and widely accessible platform, a digital library, host digital town halls to socialize executives and functional priorities, keep employees engaged, and solicit real feedback. So democratize information across the organization, principle number 1. Principle 2 is zero in on value generating activities. Design effective processes that drive transparency and continuous prioritization. Factor in the role of a coordinator, manager, or customer focused leader, or product manager on all teams. How clear and singular ownership of tasks, outcomes, and deadlines. empower individuals and teams to own change, where you need to clarify decision rights at every level, celebrate wins to build on successes, build momentum and lift engagement, tie incentives to expected behaviors. All these are the capable principles to define how can organization derive better outcomes. Definitely, digital transformation to build operating model is not straightforward. And to achieve that one, there are so many documents written by and available in the on the market. So what I will do is I will put in, even from McKinsey on digital services, what they did is they put a 127 pages document introducing the next generation operating model. The next is, and then even another document available from Digital McKinsey, the next generation operating model for the digital world, which is talking about digital reinvention, unlocking the how. So if you name it, there are so many documents available in the internet that can be used to work on and develop operating model. And even from Gartner, there is another document available, Speed Up Your Digital Business Transformation, which is a playbook for business model change. So what I will do is I will put it everything in on the show notes, that which they talk about components of business model. What is business model transformation really, which is from Gartner, and then they put together 4 key capabilities: customer, finance, value propositions, and all that. So what I'm going to do it, I will put all these documents on the show notes so that you can go ahead and read them and learn more on the digital, how we can build next generation operating model for digital transformation, or reinvent the operating model, or even acquire it, build it the way you want it. With this, I hope that we have covered the topic on the digital transformation of operating models. That was the basic, from starting from the very basics to move on, and then what are the strategies being available in the market. You can go ahead on the show notes and read these documents. These are quite huge, big documents, which will give you all the flavors and information available in how to build or architect the operating model. With this, thank you so much for joining our podcast, and look forward to hear your feedback. Once again, this is the only objective behind all these podcasts, is to learn and share with each other. All the contents taken from different sources. I usually put it in the reference in the show notes, the source of contents. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day ahead and blessed life, and look forward to interact with you on the social media channels and sending for the females or for the emails. And have a good day. Bye-bye. Good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the OTech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.